Alright, we're back here on some more Modern Warfare, grinding it out. I saw a top comment on yesterday's video. It's like, dude, they were quoting me when I said that. Yeah, I think I'm only gonna do the sniper rifle challenges here. That sounds really familiar because I did at one point say I would just only get obsidian sniper rifles, and then we saw how that went. The snow is finally melting out here. I know right now the topic of everything is the stuff that's going on in Texas with the storm and shit, and it's crazy because I know so many people that live down in Texas and stuff, and obviously a lot of people like know of a lot of the streamers and other stuff like that too. What the fuck? What is up with these guys peeking random doors? They're like so scared. Oh, that sucks. Oh.
Oh, come on.
Holy moly, these guys are pressing me everywhere. Oh my! Like, people just argue about anything. The shit down there in Texas is terrible. Ghost has to get under control, man. This shit, please nerf it. I don't know why. I mean, I'm talking literally into the fucking abyss about this. They literally didn't change it for an entire year. What makes me think they'll do it now? I would actually make the argument that Ghost is equally as broken and stupid as Dead Silence / Stopping Power is in Warzone specifically. Work like the Ghost from Treyarch games. If you sit still in a fucking corner somewhere, a UAV should not be able to just sweep over you multiple times without seeing you. It's just not a fair perk. Restock, I know that it's meant for, like, you know, the really aggressive playstyles, but to be honest, the gunfights themselves, they're not fair. Battle Hardened doesn't do enough against it, so there's virtually no counter. Just gotta sit around and wait for the day that every single player decides to use, what, Restock for everybody to sit there and finally complain about it, or what? Restock is broken as fuck. So there's some rumors going around here. Obviously can't be confirmed or anything, but from, you know, the usual leakers and stuff like that, I mean, everyone's starting to cite it. There's little articles and stuff coming out about it now. The rumor, probably not gonna be the greatest news of all time, but the rumor is that the new Call of Duty that's coming out is going to be based during the time frame of World War II. It's made by Sledgehammer, so the last game that they made was also World War II, right? And I know a lot of people feel some type of way about Modern Warfare 2, but I mean, we could have been going in the direction of Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. No offense to you guys that like those games, but it was on a downward trend during those games, and we all know that. I know a lot of people's channels grew during BO3, BO4, whatever it may be, but looking at the sales numbers is what I mean. There's not nearly as much hype for, like, a sort of distant future and futuristic. The numbers go down. World War II era, it kind of goes up, but modern is always going to just reign supreme. It's more, people are able to familiarize themselves with it a little bit more. On top of that, during the World War II stuff, you could tell like a World War II video game or story or movie or whatever a million times, but we know the story. Like, there's never anything actually new. Deal with the same countries, deal with the same shit, and obviously it's not like they're trying to change history or something like that. I mean, it is whatever happened, but they can come up with their own original stories, but everything ends up being based and grounded in that time frame. A good pinging system would work really well against ghosts like this. You know, instead of us depending on the UAV to locate them, I could at least see them, not have to directly engage with them and ping them out. That would work. I think the biggest thing that people are annoyed about hearing about this World War II thing, because the replies that people are getting are just like, great, I guess, great, more stupid-ass World War II shit. And the reality of it is, World War II really only benefited from being in World War II because they basically hard sold the whole boots-on-the-ground deal. And it was a boots-on-the-ground game, and I would say after they did the entire overhaul of the perk system and stuff, they completely changed the game for the better, 100%. About 4 or 5 months, maybe even 6 months into the game, they decided to do an entire overhaul of how all the perks worked in the game if you didn't play it. I know a lot of you guys only started playing around, you know, Warzone and stuff, or you tried to come back, heard about boots on the ground, and then just ended up quitting like everyone else anyway. Not a real person. Yeah, okay. I just got desynced so hard. Personally, I mean, I liked World War II. I mean, if I had to rank it somewhere, I would rank it over any of the jetpack games, 100%. I would have it ranked over any of the jetpack games, probably a few others, to be honest. A lot of people look at Sledgehammer like it's just kind of like the weird distant cousin of Treyarch and Infinity Ward, where they basically just try to take anything and everything that both of them has done right, and then they try to put their own little spin on it. It's hit or miss sometimes, but I mean, they produce games like, you know, Modern Warfare 3, World War II, everyone knows the deal. But it's not like they produce bad games. They just produce games that don't necessarily, I guess, innovate? It's not like they don't innovate, it's just they don't usually get that kind of credit. They just don't. I played MW3 a ridiculous amount, but I would never say that it's a better game than Modern Warfare 2, for example. They also have never really had their own series of games or anything, so if this is actually some sort of sequel to World War 2, but some people are saying, oh, it's probably World War 3, but other people are saying it's not World War 3, it is specifically World War 2. There is no World War 3, no modern setting. It says that it is World War 2. So with that said, that means what? We're gonna get like
drop 50 on your forehead, fuck boy, your dog shit. Keep on watching them kill games. I'm way better than you. Keep on swallowing your microphone. You ain't louder than me. You understand? You hear? Keep on talking that shit, shooting bodies, you fucking trash.
I'm wondering what they have learned from their past experiences. I mean, Sledgehammer has always been like really cool to me. They end up, you know, actually replying to a lot of the concerns. I sit there and I tear every single studio apart, talking all this shit or whatever. Ain't no surprise I have no code. I'm problematic. I get that, but ultimately, people just want good games. They want fun games. World War II style games, though, it's not like it can't be fun. I think maybe one of the only studios that have actually ever done an overhaul for their game when they knew that it was suffering from their design choices. I think they're the only studio that has actually done that. Treyarch and Infinity Ward are super stubborn when it comes to their design ideologies and philosophies, and they just stick to them hardcore regardless of how much, you know, discourse and pain that it causes. They look at it like some sort of proud warrior of like, this just comes with being a developer. It's got merit to it. Just gotta get your sea legs. No, it just has to do with shit design. Developers and studios get bullied all the time. Definitely way too far once it comes to like physical and, you know, actual threats and all sorts of crazy shit that people press way too far. But if your design sucks, I mean, just admit it. It is what it is. You can see the things within your own system perpetuating whatever issue it is that the community has. Obviously, I don't speak for the entirety of the community. No single person speaks for the entirety of the community, but there are very clear things that are very broken in a lot of our games that all of us are aware of and complain about and talk about, and they're not gonna get fixed. They never will get fixed because it's part of their design. It is what it is. It'd be great if they would actually change it and kind of think back on their, you know, decisions, but a lot of this shit is either ego or they're just not allowed to change it, and I don't know. I always thought that maybe they didn't change things because Activision is standing over top of them like, you better not change anything, it's all going really well. Even if the community hates it, it's still pulling in whatever this amount of money or whatever it may be. But Sledgehammer was able to actually do an entire overhaul of their system, and it made the game substantially better. I know that some of them are influenced by things, but there we go, quickscope kills. Sometimes when a UAV goes off, I have like a small little panic if I'm in like in a really good position, and then I remember that Ghost just protects me whether I'm sitting there or not. I don't need to move. I have Ghost on. Wait, do the kill streaks not see me either? This perk has got to get something. There's no drawback to running this perk. The only drawback to not running Ghost is that you're not running Restock. These pistols are stupid. Can't wait for the fully auto ones. Oh yeah, I did unlock that Psychop pistol in the Spec Ops mode or whatever, the survival. Obviously can't use it or unlock anything for it yet, but yeah, the next Call of Duty that's coming out, it's rumored to be World War II. It's just a rumor, but some of the people's, you know, it's pretty accurate leaks usually that these guys have. So once all the articles and stuff start coming out about certain things from certain people that have, you know, said things over the years, it starts getting a little bit more, you know, serious. It warrants a little bit more than just, you know, seeing something on the timeline. So, I mean, I imagine with the World War II weaponry and stuff like that, what kind of weapons are we going to end up getting in Warzone then? How are they even going to manage to compete with it? I know that they brought Cold War weapons into it. The Kar-98 is still at the top, and the Kar-98 has been around for who knows how many years, throughout how many games and eras of weaponry and all that other stuff, and it's still top tier. But I just feel like people are tired of old weapons. They like modern weapons. They like weapons that feel like they're real today. Like they could go out and see one. Not this whole like going back in time, fucking Civil War type shit, muskets and shit. I get it, it's World War II, it's not the same thing, but you know what I mean. People look at it all and just clump it all together. It's old. Period. And people are tired of it. They've been tired of that. It's surprising to me that Sledgehammer didn't go modern, but it's probably not their choice. Could be though. Regardless, I still hope it's a good game. I assume it'll probably break Warzone again though.